I've posted a couple of things on social media this week about action versus activity. I've been talking about the four key components of successful and sustainable change, and they are awareness and the multiple levels of awareness we can achieve, acceptance of the responsibility for the change, ability, which means we've received the right training or additional skill sets that we need for a change, and the most obvious, perhaps, and yet critical key component of successful and sustainable change: action. Yeah. Now, the thing about action, I define that as being different than just activities. And even though I realize that an activity can be an action, da 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 da, let me clarify. Action, taking action, is something that is following a strategic plan of actionable steps, engaging in a process over time that moves us forward towards our goal, our desired change. It is something that produces progress towards the goal. And that's important because we want to celebrate progress. We need to be able to chart it so we can celebrate it. When we celebrate progress, reaching of milestones, it enables us to stay motivated to continue in the process so we see the change that we desire. That's true as an individual, but it's also true in our businesses, companies, organizations, and teams. Now, activity can seem related to the goal, but it's not really producing any progress towards the goal. Let me give you a personal example. When I started the Strongbridge Group, I thought, I need something I can put in people's hands. And regardless of what you think about business cards and or digital stuff, it doesn't matter. The point for the illustration is I felt like I needed a business card, something I could put in people's hands. And so I had made a couple of runs at it, a couple of attempts to get what I wanted. And I'm having lunch with the business friend of mine who's been a bit of a mentor in business and very helpful advisor. And we're sitting there and he asked me how it's going. I said, well, hey, here's the latest iteration of my business card. And I could see this look on his face that I thought, oh, here comes something. And, this was it, right? I mean, I was working on it, the Strongbridge Group, right? We've all seen these business cards, basic info, put it in people's hands. And I show it to him and he said, he looks at it for a moment and he goes, and I made the statement. I said, I'm not sure if this is the one that I'm going to keep or if I'm going to need to, redo it. I'm not sure if this is the one I'm saying. And he looked at me and right across the table. And by the way, you need people in your life who will do this. He looked at me. He said, Bill, this is done. I said, what do you mean? He goes, this is done. I look at it. It doesn't offend me. It tells me who you are and what you do and how I can reach you. Done. And I just sat there for a moment and I thought, you know what? He's right. I was substituting activity for action. Now, what would action be? Well, maybe getting these printed, but the other action, really an actionable step, giving it to somebody, putting it in someone's hands, making a new connection, saying, here, reach out to me if we can help you. That's action. That moves me closer towards my desired goals. So that's action versus activity. I'll give you another example. Let's say we decide we want to begin exercising for whatever reason. Maybe we want to lose weight. Maybe we want to add muscle mass, just be in better shape in general. And we say we're going to do it. So rather than going into the gym or going into our room at home and picking up the equipment or getting on the treadmill or getting on the bike, we go online and we shop for workout clothing. Now, I get it. I mean, maybe you need some workout clothing. But you do know, right, that really nice looking outfit with the brand name on it isn't going to help you work out more effectively or have a better workout than the t-shirt that's already in your drawer, right? Surely you have people in your life who will tell you that. And if you don't, well, here I am. And we need to understand, I'm not saying you shouldn't have workout clothes, but that's an activity related to your goal. It's not action. It's not you taking action. Taking action is walking into that room, getting on that bike, stepping on that treadmill, picking up those weights or whatever is involved in the exercise you need to do to work out. That's action. That action will actually move you closer. and it gives you some sense of ability to chart your progress so that you can stay involved in the process. That's the key. Activity can be related. When I was a young man, I had a boss come up to me and say, "Hey, how's it going?" And I said, "Well, I'm busy." And he said, "Well, don't tell me how busy you are. Show me what you're getting done." I thought, "Ooh, okay." That was a reality check for me, but it was a life lesson that I've embodied, and that is, it's not about the flurries of activity. It's not about how busy we appear doing stuff. Are we taking action? And action is different than activity. Action is following a step in a process that moves me closer to the desired goal. If I want successful and sustainable change, I certainly don't want to substitute activity for action. This happens to us all the time. It happens in business, it happens in our individual lives. But if you want successful and sustainable change, when you reach the point of that critical, even though it's obvious, but critical step, key component called action, let's make sure we're not substituting activity. Activity can keep us busy. Activity can wear us out, actually, and take energy away from us. Action moves us closer. We chart progress, and we can stay motivated to stay engaged in the process. So that's a big deal. That's the difference between activity and action. Successful and sustainable change is not accomplished through activity. It's by a strategic plan with actionable steps, engagement in a process over time that produces progress. And that's what I call action. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.